bigger of a do you need, you fucking gaping whore? Back off. Hey everybody, welcome to Awesome World, the final Awesome World in the Los Angeles studio for me. Packing all morning and putting stuff in the pod and going through the garage and sorting out like who can come and who can stay and being pretty cutthroat with that stuff because doesn't really, it's just stuff, you know. And I think having this feeling that these things are just things and they're not that important is part of the process of me letting go of my past life. I think being sober and slowly but surely changing my ways, changing my opinions, changing the way I walk through the world has made things like that pretty easy to let go of. Just understanding that like what is important in life and yeah, like little things like, you know, I've been opening containers and seeing stuff that I had no idea even existed. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know I owned that. And I was like, well, did you miss it? And the answer is no. You know, I haven't found anything yet that I didn't know I had where I found it and went, oh man, that was a close one. Yeah, I didn't want to throw that away. There's nothing, none of it is that important, you know. It makes you realize. I will say this. At one point, I was going to sell the car. I had a plan. If I sold the car, it might be enough, exactly the right amount to pay off my ex. And I was like, I would do that. I would pay off her so that, you know, because I'm not, you know, I'm pretty sure it'll all work out, you know. It always does. If you keep working and you keep striving and creating, and it was just more like, you know, when you're, like my goals are different, you know. Like it used to be, you know, if I made a lot of money and I was very successful, then people would, you know, I guess celebrate me. You know, I'd be celebrated, and people would go, "Hey, man, that's really cool." And I don't take this the wrong way, but if I don't really know you and you go, "That's really cool what you did," it doesn't really mean that much. You know, it's like the people that you love. I'll tell you what I've noticed lately, man, is my girlfriend has said some things to me recently where they're very complimentary on things that I've done or do that has made me realize that, and I don't know what this means. I haven't really had time to think about it, but I've never had somebody, I've definitely never dated anybody that has said, what you just did was amazing. I know that. You know, I know I've got brain damage and stuff and I don't remember stuff. But I don't remember anybody that I've ever dated saying, you're pretty amazing at do that was incredible. I don't know how you do that. That's amazing. Maybe I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I remember. I don't remember anyone saying anything. I just don't, you know? Like it's weird. Maybe I remember the things where you say negative things and I don't remember the things that are complimentary because I was high and I was just looking for the next thing. That's an argument that I'll allow. But as far as I remember, I've never dated anybody that said like, you know, like I've done some stuff, you know, when I did the loop, I don't remember anybody going, "That was amazing that you did the loop." I think that was pretty amazing. You know, like when I look back, I go, "That's pretty crazy. You don't even really skate anymore, and you just did the loop, and you got destroyed before it." Like I popped 3 bursts of sacks, my knee was barely bending, and then I shoulder blocked the flat, and then I whipped out on so both sides I attacked, and then I made it. And I was the 13th person ever in the world to do the loop on a skateboard. I'm pretty sure, I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure the 12 people before me were skating all the time. But nobody ever said anything. And I'm not like, oh, poor me. I never really thought it poor me at all. Well, I never did it for that. But, yesterday I did this thing. I posted it on Instagram. I did the little half flip, front somersault, half twist bullshit thing that Tony Hawk does. And I just don't skate anymore, man. And I'm old, like jumping in the air and landing on the ground is like, on the flat ground, it's just like, nah, I'm going to pass on that. And, I haven't skated for a while. I always haven't skated for a while. I don't fucking skate, Like I skate every now and then when I get a chance for fun. And I'm just not like what I was at all. I'm not that athletical anymore. I'm a little bit slower. I've definitely, since we started moving, I haven't trained anywhere near as much. So I'm definitely not in top shape. And I just figured out how to do it eventually. Not the best version of it, that's for sure. But I did do it. And you don't know how far off I was at the start and how my body's like, dude, what are you fucking doing, dude? Like you can barely drop in and you're gonna front flip out. Like that's a bad idea. But I did the same thing that I always have done in my life. Is if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll do it. Kind of guinea pig myself, if that makes any sense. Where I'll do it and get hurt, but when I get hurt, I do this little I process it. Like I'm like, where did you go wrong, and how do you learn from it? And really, there's this thing when you try stuff that's scary, you kind of go into a little bit of shock when you do it. You don't really do anything you're supposed to do. But I will kind of play the tape back and go, right. And then there's this thing where it's like you have traits that, especially when you get sober, that you try to get rid of, I mean, there's a couple of mine that I'm like, no, I'm going to keep those. And that's...
Gonna close the window real quick.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh. That's aggression, like being angry, and it's funny, being a tough coach, you don't talk bad about yourself. I've learned that. But also when you're a tough coach, like if I help people boxing, if I really know them, I'll be like, don't be such a bitch, And I don't mean it in a bad way. And I don't say that to people that don't know me, because if you don't know me and I call you a bitch, you think I'm sincerely calling you a bitch, So I had to have a little bit of a talk to myself about what we were doing out there. Like at one point when I first started trying it, I was like, I might go home and get a mattress, because there's no way I could see how I was going to do a front flip out of this bowl and not land on my back. I just didn't see how. I was like, if I front flip, I'm not making it all the way around, and I'm just going to land on my back on the concrete. And when I was thinking about it earlier, I was like, I'll be all right. I'll be able to make it. And then when I landed one like fucking 6 inches off the ground, I was like, God damn, that hurt. Shut up! What the fuck is happening out there?
Yard work.
Oh.
Leaf blowers, they
Okay.
go ape shit over those.
Yeah. She's a fucking rape whistle, dude. She's so annoying when she goes off like that.
Every woman needs one.
Yeah, well, I'm like, I feel like, this will be, it's like, oh man, that's an annoying bark. it will probably be the last time that happens, because when I'm in Utah, there's not going to be a gardener. You know, we're in the weeds. We're in the mountains. Nobody would be, if you garden there, you're an idiot. And when it comes to shoveling snow and shit, that will be my job. So can't do this and shovel snow at the same time. But yeah, Jules, when I came home, I hobbled in and I did this thing. I don't know if anybody's seen the Cinderella Man, where Cinderella Man comes back after a fight and he kind of walks in all sad like he lost. And then he goes, I won, and holds up the money. So I did that. I came in the house and I was limping. But I was actually limping for real because I sprained both my ankles and I sprained my left knee. So my legs are not good. And I sort of hobbled in and she's like, oh, no. What happened? I was like, I couldn't make it. And she's like, oh, it's okay. And I was like, yeah, I know, because I made it. And she was like, you did? I'm like, yeah, I made it. And then I showed her the video and she's like, wow, that is amazing. Like, that's truly incredible that you learn how to, like, how the fuck did you do that? And I was like, well, you know, because I tried. Yeah, I did it. And she was like, that is incredible that you can figure out how to do stuff like that. Like, I'm really impressed. And that's when I was like, yeah, I know it. I know I've never dated anybody that has said that. And it's not to shit on anybody I've dated. I think it's more the work that I've done with sobriety and working on myself to be a better person. You know, like, if you do cool shit around me, I will acknowledge it now, as in the past I would not acknowledge it. And it's not malicious, it's just I'm too busy thinking about myself, you know, because that's like an addictive personality is, you know, we can't stop thinking about ourselves. We can't stop worrying about trying to control stuff, which brings on the anxiety, which makes you self-medicate. That's the whole fucking thing with addicts. And I think all of us are a little bit of an addict, you know? Like, maybe, you know, because it's like, I got friends that, like, used to do heroin and now they smoke weed. And I'm like, you should fucking smoke weed every day. I don't think, people are like, man, you're not completely sober. I'm like, I don't think he needs to be. You know, like, if he could do it down the road, great. But right now, you should smoke weed as soon as you wake up until you go to bed. Because when you were on those fucking pills, you were not here at all. You weren't even on the planet. And it was so sad, you know, like when you love somebody so much and you see the life is gone from them. The light is not on. You know, they can talk, they can order food, but they're not here. And it's like it's like looking at a shell. It's like looking at your fucking dead friend, dude. It's like a dead friend that's not at the fucking funeral and he's not in the box. He's standing there, but he's not there. And it's heartbreaking, you know? So if you smoke weed and you're 75% there, I'll take it. I'll fucking take it. Especially if the option is you go back to being a fucking zombie. So yeah, I'm okay with that. But for me, you know, I did the same thing. I did hard drugs. I did drinking and I did stop drinking and I smoked weed and I did kratom and I had sex. You know, sex, kratom, and weed was all I had left. Do you know ketamine stopped working for me? That's how much I did it.
That's insane.
Isn't it? Like people have ketamine addictions. I did ketamine. I had a prescription bottle that said 2 pumps in each nostril 3 times a day. And I blasted that up my nose, 8 pumps in each nostril every half an hour. I just squirted that shit up my nose all the time until oftentimes my nose would stop working and then I would take lozenges because the doctor gave them to me.
Jesus.
Yeah, what a doctor. And you know why he gave them to me? Because I told him my nose didn't work anymore. And he knew, that means he knew
Yeah.
that I was whacking it harder. So,
Dude, Outlast horse tranquilizer is pretty wild.
right? Yeah, it got to the point where I would do it and I'd be like, it's not doing anything like it used to. And I would take a day off and then do it again. I was like, fuck, it just doesn't work anymore. And then I remember I used to say, like, it cured me. You know? Like the ketamine cured me from ketamine.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, I fixed it. You know what I mean? I fixed myself. And now and then it was Kratom. And Kratom really didn't work that good, but if you did a lot of it, here's how I figured out how to do it. If I did 2 feel-free straight back to back and then put a Zen in, the Zen did something where it would give me a little bit of a buzz with the Kratom kicking in, and I would be like a little warm inside. And I'd be like, ooh, we've got ourselves a little painkiller buzz going here.
Yeah, that's definitely the OD if you go back out thing.
Dude, that's the other thing. Like, I talked last night at a meeting. I killed, by the way, Zach.
Crushed at the meeting?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The place was packed. Like, dude, I want to speak at AA around the world and just instead, like, yeah, look, at the end I do get serious, but for the first 15 minutes, I fucking killed. The whole place was rolling.
Tight 20?
It was a tight 20, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I murdered. People came up to me out and was like, man, that was the funniest shit I've ever heard. I was like, that's not really the point, but thank you. I used some of my material. I got new material where I was like, oh, I'm going to use that in actual comedy. That one killed.
He's ready for Utah, folks.
Yeah, I am ready, actually.
Dude, I don't know if I ever told you. Sorry, just real quick. My dad, when he relapsed, I took him to a meeting, and I hadn't been to a meeting since I was a kid because they couldn't afford babysitters. So that's why I just grew up in AA. And I took him to a meeting, and I just started it was actually like one of the reasons I got into stand up because it was right before I had started, and I like crushed in a meeting, like talking about like what my dad went through, like what he means to me because he was too like kind of fucked up to even like get words out at that time. And I was like, oh shit, I think I can do stand up. I totally forgot about that till we started talking about it.
It's a good room to start, for sure.
Yeah, because you're like free, to just say what you're.
And they like
doing.
funny stuff.
Yeah,
And
it can be dark.
Oh, it was dark for sure.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about it is Jules was there, and at one point I'd kind of covered some of my sexual escapades, and then I was like, "This is my girlfriend behind me," and everyone was just like, "Wow, you have a girlfriend." I was like, "Right, anything's possible,
Oh, do you want to show the flip out to the audience in case they hadn't seen it yet?
If you haven't seen it and you're on here, I hate you.
What the fuck are you doing?
You got to follow me, dude. Help me out.
That last hit, holy shit! When I watch you, like, when you know that you land and you're in that much pain, like, god damn it,
Yeah,
that was fucking wild.
yeah, it's like disheartening, but also, it's beautiful, Like, do you know why? Look, first of all, I don't know if you're 54 and you don't have the injuries I have. You're probably pretty sore if you did what I just did.
Yeah.
But, on top of it all, I do have some pretty sweet ankles. Might be time to, once I get all situated, might not be a bad idea to visit Colombia again. Get a little bit of a redo now that I'm completely sober. Because last time I got the stem cells, Katie and I brought 2 cases of Feel Freeze.
To Colombia?
Yeah. And ketamine.
Jesus Christ.
And the Feel Freeze, there was a time there where some of the Feel Freeze were off, like they're in the sun or something. So if you open them, they fizzed everywhere. And they tasted really, really bad. Like, they already don't taste good, but they were really bad. And, man, looking back, I don't think Katie has a I think Katie just, I don't know if she still does them. I don't think she does. I could be wrong, but I think she's just like not the addict that I am, which is also like why she probably, you know, couldn't understand why I couldn't stop doing what I was doing, you know?
Yeah.
Because she just wasn't, she was like, why do you have to keep fucking everybody? And I'm like, oh, you know, this is what it's what I am. It's what and there was no words of encouragement, or if anything, it was kind of like, fuck you, which would make me mad and make, you know, when I'm mad and I feel like everybody hates me, well, then I'm going to go fuck some more, you know? I'm going to keep running. So, yeah, I feel, you know, I guess there's no point talking to her anymore, you know. But I feel bad. I wish I could explain myself better, you know. When I made my amends to her, you know, I did apologize, but I feel like I was like apologizing and not really understanding what I was apologizing for. And I feel like if I don't know. I think at this point, like, if she's happy and I'm not around, then that was another reason why I wanted to sell that car. But now I got to tell you, man, I was going to say, when I walk towards my car from wherever I parked, every single time I walk and see it, I go, this is the, I love that fucking car. Like, this is the only thing I have to show for my Sirius XM career is that car. And I know it's like a materialistic thing, but it's also like, it's like my Red Dragon chain, you know? Like, I don't know how much my chain's worth. It's worth a bit, but it's not it's worth way more than what it's worth to me because of where it's been and what it's meant to me all through the years, you know? But yeah, it's weird. I have these jobs that I have to do, so I'm very excited about those. I'm excited to be on the road. But you know, it doesn't come close to when I get home. This place is empty. Like, this place is nothing. The couches, everything's gone. TVs are gone. You know, I'll come home. Like, Jules will pick me up, and we'll we have a spare bed that is being taken away that day. So, like, you know, we're sleeping on a mattress, and then we're in a car, and we're off to Utah. The game plan is she has the cats in the back of her car. I have the dogs in the back of my car. There's like diapers on dogs and kitty litter boxes in the back of her car. And we're just going to gun it. We're just going to do like maybe 2 stops, gas, and talk for a second, maybe get some food, and then just go for it. Get there, get it done. Show up, put the cats and the dogs in the house, and they're going to be like, what the fuck is happening here? And there's going to be one kitty litter, so that's going to be full of shit and piss pretty quick. Oh, man, I just realized maybe I'll take... There's so much still to be done. It's kind of... I think that's like a part of moving, though, right? When people move, it's... You know, you're packing and you're doing stuff, and then there's like, wait, today's the day. You know, oh no, I have all this other stuff. What's Molly saying? My kid's been saying hello, me. What?
Oh, talking about the. She said, "Is Dave Mustaine the one?"
Oh yeah, hello, me. Yeah, that's Dave Mustaine. Yeah. Bitter guy. You know, that's another good reason. He's an alcoholic. You know, he got sober, but if you don't stay in the program. Because it still comes out of me, you know? Like, I still am triggered by stuff, you know? Like, Adam22 talking shit on me because Grifted Hater talks shit on me. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, see me and say it, you know? And then, you know, he has a boxing fight where he's, like, the biggest bitch I've ever seen in a fight in my whole life. And I'm like, it's pretty tempting. It's pretty hard not to go, ha-ha, you fucking clown, you know? But I shouldn't be a part of it. But
Yeah.
it was kind of, it's like, dude, you talk shit on me, and then like literally like 1 week later, you look like the biggest bitch ever in my sport. It's fucking hard not to go, ha ha ha. You fucking suck, dude.
It's crazy that he, like, do you think he did it because he actually thought he could win? Or was it
He's delirious. Because after the fight, he said he was the better man. He quoted a fight. He did a fight quote. And I'm like, dude, you're not allowed to say he's the better man on the night. Like you were beaten by, like edged out by, I mean, you didn't put on a fight. You didn't fight. You didn't fight. He's not the better man. He's the only man.
just got his ass whooped?
But he didn't fight. Like he didn't face him and throw a punch.
Right.
You didn't actually fight. I bet you he got paid more money than I've ever got paid for a fucking boxing fight.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely was like, well, I'll make some money. Even if I look like a bitch, it'll bring
Well,
some
dude, that's
views.
the way it goes. It's like horse force, man. Like, I got people on there that are like monitoring and blocking people. And I'm like, don't block them anymore. Like, half of horse force is fans watch people say mean shit to me. And that's like kind of what it made me realize. Like, it's kind of, like, oh, you're gay. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, man. Like, I'll suck your dick too, And it's like, whoa, I knew it. You're a faggot. And I'm like, yeah, man. If that makes you go on here and, if it's like 1,000 people that are like, fuck you, faggot. Well, that's a couple $100, baby. And if it's a couple $100 every day, well, that's rent, And I'm like, rent, I'm a faggot, It's different. Also, there was a time there where if I did get involved in an argument and fans came after me, I would be very emotional and hurt about it. Even if I won. It was like, it would drain my day. But because I'm sober, because I do the work, I assess myself every morning. I meditate. I have a grateful list. I pray. And it's like, you're a faggot. I'm like, you don't think I'm aware of the dicks I've sucked? Like, do you think if you bring it up, like I go, oh shit, I completely forgot that I did gay shit. You think that shit just goes away?
That would be pretty funny. Wait, what?
Yeah, like you shock and awe of like, wait, have I? Prove it. And then they show me a video. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I'm going to kill myself. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I think a lot of people would be okay with it.
What?
Me killing myself because they called me gay. I seriously think that. Because you can tell with the shooting thing where it's like, nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares if that guy dies. Nobody cares if you die. And if you're mean or you're bad or you're gay or you're fucking Republican or, like the Charlie Kirk, everyone's like, fucking, I'm glad he died. He's a racist. I'm like, he's a guy, man. Like, yeah. I'm not saying he's the best guy, I don't even know. I know this is going to trigger Zach, but like, I never saw a video where, like, to me, he was just like super religious. And that's like, I don't want to be mean, man, but like religion is fucking stupid to me.
Well, I even got into arguments with people about that where it was like, yeah, just because I disagree with somebody doesn't mean he should get shot in the face. Like,
but you are aware of all the people going, I'm glad he got shot.
Yeah,
fuck him,
yeah,
right? And
sure.
I'm like, dude, you're fucking talking about a human being. You're glad he got shot.
Right.
And if I flip it and I go, what about your brother? What about your dad? What about your mom? And you're like, what kind of sick fuck would want my mom to be shot? And I'm like, you just celebrated this dude. He's a racist. And I'm like, even if he is a racist, let's say he is, he doesn't deserve to be fucking shot in the neck, dude, and die.
Right.
Just, that's the craziest thing. You know who deserves to be shot in the neck and died? A guy that fucks kids.
Yeah.
That guy, I'm okay with. I'll do it. And it's like, oh man, you're crazy. Am I? I think I'm actually like the most grounded on the planet person compared to all you fucks that celebrate people getting shot.
You're also like qualified to have an opinion on it as somebody who's, been involved on the other side of it, where you're like, I was abused, so yeah.
Yeah, there's no coming back from it, dude.
Right.
Like, people think, like, just move on. I'm like, yeah, look, I have moved on. But also, dude, it's not even me. It's the pain that I've inflicted on others because of it. You know? Like, dude, I'm telling you. I know this is, I don't like bringing it up because I don't want her to be involved in it. I know she doesn't want me to. But Katie, I love her. I'll never, she could never be my friend ever again. She's on this planet somewhere and I'll never know her. And that's the person that I will love for the rest of my life. And why? Why? Because I am an idiot. I fucked everybody when I was, there was people, she was like, don't fuck that guy or that girl. And I did. I couldn't stop. Do you know why I couldn't stop? Because I'm a sex addict. Why am I a sex addict? Because I've been molested like fucking 7 times by a bunch of people. And it's like this thing that I bond with my trauma. This is science. You can call me a liar if you want to. I don't really care. But do you know how hard do you know how much work it took for me to not want to fuck random people? Do you know how much work it took for me to not go to the weed store and smoke weed and let my kids down again? Do you know how hard it was to like stop drinking? Because some of you can just drink and not drink. I can't, and I've got this thing because I've run from my anxiety and my pains of my childhood. And you know what my fucking anxiety and pains of my childhood are? From being molested. And it's like the things and that's, that shows I'm a good person, man, because I don't feel that sorry for me. I feel sorry for the people that loved me, Like, I feel sorry for Katie. I feel sorry for Andrea. Like, I really do, I love them. I'll always love them. And they didn't deserve that, They're good people. People make mistakes. People do stupid shit. People hurt other people. But deep down, I know those ladies are good people. And I fucking, they think of me and they go, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whose fault's that? That's my fault, Like, maybe they're paranoid of their partner now. Like, they're checking their phone because they don't trust men. Why don't they trust men? Okay, granted, I'm not the only guy. But I am that guy for them. And it's just like, I'll always be sorry about that, I'll always be sorry. And the good part about it is I'll always be sorry about it, which means I will always honor Jules. Because, I made a pact with myself. You do that again, you go down that road again on her, I'm not going to be here, Because if that's the way, or I'm not going to be here, or I'm definitely not going to be dating anyone ever again. That would be the last, Somewhere down the road, Jules cheats on me or decides to leave me because I didn't fuck anybody. Okay, I'll date someone. But if I ever do that shit again to anybody, that's a wrap for me. I'd be like, dude, because I'm doing everything in my power to not be that guy. I will not accept, if you flirt with me on social media, I will fucking block you. Like, I don't play that game. And it's funny now that I don't play that game, realizing how inappropriate it is. But I don't get mad. I just move on, you know? Because it took time, you know? At first I was like, you fucking hitting on me? And you know I got a girlfriend? What kind of piece of shit does that, you know? And I'd be like, fuck that motherfucker, you know? And now I'm just like, well, you've got your own addictions, you know? People that do that, most of the time, I think, it's my opinion, are not malicious. You know? They're just, you know, they're running too. They got their own addictions. They need somebody to validate them, you know? And it's like, well, you know, I know some people that want to go out with some people that are going out with other people so that they can break them up, but that's like their power because of their insecurities. It's not malicious. Everything's malicious, but it's, if you really analyze it, that's why I don't mind people hating on me on Horse Force, because I understand. It's like, fuck you, you're irrelevant. I'm like, well, dude, you're on my chat, and I don't know who you are. I don't even know if you have one or not. You know, sure as hell if you do, I'm not going on there because I really don't care. You know, like, you're watching me, and you're saying I'm irrelevant because you know I'm relevant. You know, or I was, or you know who I am, and you're saying I'm irrelevant because you know who I am. So when you know all that, it doesn't really have the sting. And, you know, when you know, it's like somebody typing that who's mad at me for just sitting there being me. I feel sorry for them, you know? Like, you're talking to a guy, I feel sorry for my father. You know? That's how much work I've done. I don't resent him, you know? I feel sorry for him because I don't think he meant it. I don't think he wanted to do any of it. I think he had his own addictions and his own problems. I think the same thing happened to him. You know, but that's another thing for me to be proud of, you know? It ends here. I ended it.
Dude, and I was going to say that's a big part of this too, is like when you get sober and then also like genuinely working on yourself, it becomes a thing where you're sort of the, I don't want to like use these terms too often because people misconstrue them, but like sort of like a martyr for your family and what's to come, right? Like you take on the sins of your family so that your kids don't have to.
Right. And, yeah, so like when my kids are older, my kids don't have that story.
Right.
You know? They have, you know, dad was crazy. You know, he did some crazy shit. You know, at one point he was out of control, sex addict, and he had sex with guys on the internet. They know that. That's not good. You know? I know. Trust me, I've thought about running away from that several thousand times. But I never touched them, you know? I never put a hand on them. And everybody I ever slept with was an adult and it was consensual, you know? I never forced myself on a guy or a girl. And they know that, you know? And they also know, you know, that I'm an addict and that I have worked on it and freed myself from it. So I have showed that it can be done. And I have also shown that, you know, people can be addicts. It's a real thing. But you can get yourself out of it. So I think that they have sympathy for people who struggle. And they also are very aware of addictive drugs, alcohol, and sex. They know that it's dangerous because they've seen firsthand what it can do.
And also, like, you can tell they're raised well and, like, are decent people, too, because they, all that happened and they still love you and care about you. Like, there isn't, like, yeah, dad's evil for that.
No.
Which is impressive on their part, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think kids in this generation are, like, if they're tapped in, they can see all this. It's like they're on another level because we've given them that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'll take a little bit of credit, but, you know, their mother she's awesome. Again, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, I don't want to fucking get back with their mother or Katie, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Also, I could say this to Jules and she'd be like, yeah, you know? Like when people say, fuck my ex, you're kind of saying fuck yourself, you know? Because you did love this person and now you hate them. You know, did they kill your mother or something? Because if they didn't, then then you got, You've got an issue that you need to resolve. You need to face. You need to break it down so you can move on with your life and not have resentments for people that you clearly loved. So that's why, there's still like Christian Hand, very annoying person to me in my life. Some of the things that he said and done have just been like, oh my God, like, you fucking asshole. But did I have, was I involved in making this hard for him? Like, have I been a dick as well? Absolutely. Like, I am partly to blame. I have apologized to him, and he, I don't know if he really can accept an apology because he hasn't done the work on himself. But I love that guy, There's times we had where it was fun. The show got big, the band got big, egos got big. People started saying and doing things that you just wouldn't say and do if you really cared about each other. But that's ego. That's when you think you're hot shit, you fucking tread on people, man. I'm guilty of it. He's guilty of it. The only difference is I am very sorry about it, and I hope nothing but the best for all those guys. But also, people are like, you should get back, and I'm like, I don't. Like I said, I got nothing but love for all those people, but I have no interest in doing anything with those people. You get stuck in this rut, dude, where you're like, well, that's what everybody wants, so I'll just keep doing it. But I'm not that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fucking do the old Jason Ellis show again. I don't want to live in the repetitive state of the same thing over and over again. I like doing new stuff. I'm in the third quarter, baby. I'm not going back. Look, man, if anything, my first choice is skateboarding. I don't want to go back. If I had a magic wand, I don't want to go back. I did it. Did I do it right? Did I do it to my fullest potential? No, but that's how I did it. That's how I ran it. And I'm proud of myself. I really am. I'm proud of myself for smoking crack because I did it. And there's, taking it back. You don't get to take it back. That's not how this game works. You did it. Own it. All I can do now is live today, and I can share experiences with people. And if you're listening and you're like, man, I might do that or I might do this, sure, man. It's like I had a friend that was like, man, I want to be in an open relationship like you. And I remember telling him, I was like, I love you, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you trust me, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you know anybody that you love, that you trust, that has been in more of an open relationship than me? And he was like, no. And I go, right. Are you ready? And he's like, ready for what? And I was like, ready for the answer. And he was like, yeah, man. And I go, yeah, don't do it. And this is before I stopped. And I love that guy. Still love that guy. And I fucking meant that wholeheartedly. Do not get involved in that. It's like, this is all I'm sorry. This is not all I'm good for, but what I say to you right now is of a man, like, is $1 million cool? It is. Is getting valet and getting rich people's supermarket stuff and not even looking at the price, is that good? It fucking is, man. Especially now that I can't do that. I miss that, I miss it a lot. I miss going to stores and buying shit. It's fun. I also miss rolling doobies and fucking sparking one up and watching films where they're not really that funny, but they're funny because I'm high. I miss that. I do. I can admit that. But it doesn't compare, and that's why, like, I ain't lying, man. I ain't. Why'd I lie? Why would I lie? Is it making me more money? Does anybody like me more if I make this up? Like, at this point, can we fucking be real? Like, I don't fucking care. You can all leave or everybody can show up. I don't fucking care. I'm just telling you from my real life experience. I didn't fucking read it in a book. It wasn't fucking Noah's Ark. This is real. No offense to the Christians. But to me, if you're lucky, you might have one or two friends. If you're lucky. If they need your help, you are there for them. If you need their help, they are there for you. And the only way you're ever going to know this is because you're going to need help. You know? And I don't wish it on everybody, but also at the same time, if you do need it, then you will realize who these people are. And that is a special moment to realize that there are some people on this planet that are not blood related, that if you need them, they will show no matter what. Also, very importantly, show up for no reason. Because that's another lesson that I've learned. A lot of people in my life that have shown up for me, maybe not intentionally, but they're using me. I'm giving them something, or there is hopes of something that they can get from me. And again, I don't resent them because of whatever upbringing they've had. They feel like they want to do things for me because they think in the end it will pay off for them. It doesn't make them a bad person. It's just they haven't done enough work to realize it. I have been guilty. We all have been guilty of it. But when you try to help somebody that is of no... There is nothing that they can do for you. There is nothing that you want from them. You know? It's like, Colin McKay. You know, that's why it was so hard, man, because Dingo was that guy for me, you know? You know, when I first had my fucking heart thing and I was in hospital by myself, and the doctor told me that I had heart disease because he's a fucking retard. And I was just in that hospital by myself, and Andrea, not her fault, but she was never very good at feeling sorry for anybody when they were sick, but she had gone to her friend's wedding in fucking Ibiza or something. I don't fucking know. She was gone. And I was in that hospital by myself. And I was like, they would tell me I'll never work out again, I'll never skate again, I have to eat like vegetables or some shit. Like, they're fucking dudes, fucks eaters. You have heart disease, you might have a pacemaker, like all this devastating shit. Dingo came with flowers. You know, talking about a guy fucking smokes weed all day, doesn't know what fucking day it is. And he showed up. Found the hospital, showed up. I'm just grateful I had time with him, you know. But those are, you know, I wish I could have realized it while he was here more, you know, because I was sober, but I was going through it, man. You know, I was fucking at the start of my sobriety and fucking dark. So, you know, I tried to help him. But also, you know, people sometimes... He didn't want to hear it. He bullshitted me a little bit, you know. Because he knew if I really knew, I wouldn't let him out of my sight, you know. But that's not his fault. That's, you know, addictive personality. Again, you know, we live this life. We live this lifestyle where, dude, that could have been me fucking 50 times over. You know? Yeah, I'm fine. You know? Like, do you know how many times I fucking... drank and woke up and took a pill and fucking drank and forgot I took the pill and took another pill? Dude, I don't know how many times because I drank and took a pill. You know? You don't know how long you're going to be here, man. You know, so it's like when you love your friends and they love you, and you got family, they love you, and they know that you love them. That you cannot take that. Nobody can take that. So yeah, man, it's cool to have a car, and it's cool to, you know, do some fancy shit, but it really isn't that important, you know. It's like even yesterday, man, like, you know, I did that flip. I can't do that flip. I'm not good enough to do that shit anymore. But anybody can do anything if they just refuse to be beaten, you know? It's like I just refuse to be beaten. I'm just like, well, you know, snap out of it, you know? Or snap into it, whatever the fuck. It's like when you pray when you're at your weakest, when you pray when somebody puts a gun to your head and you don't know they're joking and you're like, this is the end. That prayer is a real prayer, you know? You know, when somebody's sick and you really hope they're okay. Or when you are, you know, doctor says you got cancer and you pray that it can get fixed. That's a real prayer, you know? And it's like, I hope none of you experience it, but at the same time, I hope you do. Because that's the closest you can get to God, you know? And when you get close to God, you realize that none of this other shit means anything, you know? It's all bullshit. Social media, fucking ICE, Donald Trump, doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything. You got today. That's all you got. What are you going to do with it, you know? You going to love your fucking kids? Are you going to enjoy a meal like it was your last fucking meal? You know, I was thinking I saw this movie with a Japanese fucking doc I was talking about the other day where I was like, man, if I was on that doc, dude, if I was in Australia right now at Richmond train station where I had been thousands of times and could not give a fuck, couldn't wait till one day I had enough money to get a car so I could drive instead of catching a train. Dude, if I could be there just to be on the train station and then catch a train to the ramp, because of all the shit I've been through and how hard I've worked to get here, it would be such a great day. And everybody else at the train station will just be like, hey, man, I'm late for work. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's in here, dude. It's how you look at it, you know? Like, my day sucks. If I give you $1 million cash, would your day suck? Well, no, it wouldn't. Right. So what the fuck changed? I didn't say you got to spend any of it yet. It's just a bunch of paper in your bag. You know, it's like how you look at it is how you win at life. Wow. Too bad this isn't a podcast. It would be a good show. So, yeah, that's the last awesome world for Big Daddy Jace Cakes.
We could do it as a Awesome World promo if you want. Put it out as a podcast.
Just put it on 2.0?
Yeah. Just do it as like an Awesome World promo. Like, hey, if you want to come over to Awesome World, this is what we do.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I could put it out tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Easy peasy, baby.
All right. Well, then, yeah, fucking, hey, Jason Ellis 2.0. I told you I'd never quit. Got it. Fucking awesome. Wait. I'll do my old send off. But yeah, the last show, the last Awesome World, last Jason Ellis 2.0 in Los Angeles. So I'll be moving to Utah if anybody wants to see me at Wolfmate on Instagram. If you want to get tickets to the show, thejasonellis.com for tour dates. If you want to get my merch, it's 30% off right now. Wolf Knife's merch. Promo 30 for 30% off. There's Tony Hawk signed boards that come with, unfortunately, depending on who you are, with the Jason Ellis signed board as well. But it's 30% off, so it's a big deal. So, yeah, love you guys. Thanks, everybody, for supporting. And make the most of your life. Don't die.
It's Fat Cock.
Wait, that's the wrong button. I know, Rubble Beat. I fucked that up, right?